wanted to respond to the need to convert. There's been an occasion where some individual or a number of doctors I'm working with all of a sudden are going 0 for, or 1 for. So 5 people came in, 0 or 1 became patients and accepted the care plan. And there's some strong reasons behind that 99% of the time. It's rarely the person just no way they were going to do it, they don't have money, or that just no way they were going to do it because I'm not under insurance or don't take insurance. It's generally something about the way care is proposed or the experience they had overall in the office with the doctor, with the team, the whole environment. So I usually, and this, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, I just want to set a certain bar for what we're talking about here. I usually, month after month, convert 100%. 10 out of 10 people that walk in a week all accept the care plan. And when I don't, because it doesn't happen every single time, then I look deeply into it. Like, what was it about me that day? And that's important to understand. It's like, what was it about me that day? Not the patient, not the circumstances, not their insurance or the environment or whoever the president was or wherever the economy is at. Where was I that day? What happened? Because what can easily slip, and it's very sensitive, and it can easily slip, is that we bust this thin layer between the fact that we're on a mission to save lives, but also looking to build a business. I mean, obviously, we're teaching a certain model around this idea of 150 a week is the new million, yet it's about a mission. So what there is an integrity around both, that there's an integrity around the mission you're on, the principle you serve, the vision you have, and there's certainly a business integrity, and we're looking to sustain both of those. We don't want to sacrifice either of those, even 1%, but if we ever slip into this issue where we're actually just converting, we've lost the integrity of the mission, and it doesn't work. Now, just actually on the other side of it, I've seen people, and this is probably as or more common than anything in chiropractic, where there's little business integrity. They just don't have a good business model. Not that they lack some sort of integrity or there's something sinister going on with them as a person, but there never was a business model to even hold an integrity to. And so that's also a problem. If you're all mission and no business integrity or no business model, that doesn't work either. So I'm going to walk through a few things that you need to evaluate carefully when you're not converting and something to work on the rest of your career. First of all, I want to talk about the heart. I really believe that the reason I just about always convert is because where I'm coming from. I'm all mission. Anybody that knows me knows I am the mission. Dr. Schiffman points out all the time, he's like, Dr. Ben invented this. You are the mission. We're not just on a mission, you're the mission. Like, my heroes are people who sacrificed everything for God. So if you know the story of Eric Liddell, if you've seen Chariots of Fire, then you know about his big thing that happened in the Paris Olympics in 1924, where he won a gold and a bronze medal. But in his event, which was the 100-meter, which is still to this day the premier event, they generally call whoever wins the 100 the fastest man on earth, that he passes. He doesn't run the 100 at the Olympics at a certain time in history where this was a big deal. There wasn't a lot of media or other things available. This was everything. And he passes on the gold medal in the 100, his event, because the heats were on Sunday and he was a committed Christian. And so it's big news. He still won 2 medals. He became a huge celebrity. It became known all around the world what he had done for God. And as if he hadn't sacrificed enough, he leaves fame and fortune and moves to China to become a missionary, where he dies only 20 years later. So, that's the heart. Somebody who's that committed to Christ and the mission to sacrifice being the fastest man on earth, the money, the fame that goes with that, a gold medal, all for Jesus for any given Sunday. He just would have skipped one Sunday. But he did it because that's the commitment to the mission that he has. Then further sacrifices his life going to China, only lives to like 40 years old, but yet reaches thousands of people on behalf of Jesus. I'm a huge follower, fan of Wilberforce. If you know William Wilberforce, he was born into wealth, became a prominent politician, yet sacrifices everything to abolish slavery. If you know Dietrich Bonhoeffer, again, just prominent minister, could have just built a big church, been very affluent, very successful. Instead, takes on Hitler and gets hung for it. If you ever saw the movie End of the Spear, this will be my last one. I won't keep on my soapbox here. But if you saw the movie or read the book End of the Spear, it's about Jim Elliot, Nate Saint, this missionary group. They go into the Wadani tribe. Not sure I'm saying that correctly. And they want to bring Jesus to this tribe in the middle of nowhere, and they're killed for it. They're speared to death. And the story evolves into this impact, this transformational impact this has on the tribe and the families of the missionaries, and seeing the grace and mercy of Jesus working in the world. The heart of a great chiropractor, we would sacrifice anything for this mission. Even our very lives, we would sacrifice for saving the lives of others. Now, the great thing is you don't have to. If you're sacrificing your life in chiropractic, you generally drive a BMW and get to take vacations anywhere in the world that you'd like to. So you're not really making a sacrifice, but that should be your heart, that we're putting people first, that our hearts are broken in going over a care plan. One of the mentors I've followed years ago, now his books and audios live on, is Jim Rohn. And he said, I don't mind a preacher preaching fire and brimstone as long as they do it with a tear in their eye. That if they're just trying to close me into Christianity, that doesn't work. But if their heart is broken, knowing that I need to meet Jesus and it will change my life and my eternity, and it's broken them, they want it for me so bad, that's going to make an impact. If they're just closing, doesn't work. If they're on mission and closing, it works. And so I just want to put it out there for any of you that find yourself struggling to close. There's generally a heart set, not just a mindset, but a heart set that's off. It's off a turn or two. It's not coming across well, or they'd be converting, because it's pretty obvious. Here's your subluxation. Here's subluxation degeneration. Here's what it's doing to you now, what it's been doing to you for years, what it's going to do to you in the future if you don't correct it. And if they say no, there's a lack of connection that just occurred there. There's a lack of trust. There's something unconsciously, maybe just something that they just know that they're just picking up in their subconscious that just leads them away from saying yes. So I would check your heart set first if you're not converting. The second thing would be, when I've stepped away and said, why didn't somebody start? And generally, for lack of a better way of putting it, and I hate to admit it, but it was sloppy, where I haven't been training. I haven't trained on my scripts. I dropped parts of the scripts. I took certain things for granted. Again, maybe I've just gone 10 for 10. So I got a little bit lazy and skipped over some things. And, so unpracticed, unscripted work just doesn't work. And again, it has to be a balance, because somebody might say, well, if you're just this scripted person, isn't that like sales? Aren't you acting? That somehow it's inauthentic or disingenuous. But again, if I'm coming from a brokenhearted place of mission, I'm here serving God and willing to sacrifice and risk everything on behalf of this person. If I'm coming from that place, then the scripting just makes sure, again, that I maintain my business integrity. The bottom line is, if you're winging it, that's poor. That doesn't work anywhere. I don't care what profession you're in, or if you're an athlete, whatever you were, if you haven't practiced it and you don't have your technique in order and you're not executing, then you're going to have bad results. So my guess would be, if you're not seeing good outcomes, that's likely another part of it. We've lost some of the mission-based integrity. We've lost some of the business integrity. We're not training. We're not executing. It's really that simple. And the final piece, I'll say, the third thing, if you found yourself 1 for 0 for anything like that, we started with, again, the heart set, this more technical piece of being prepared and trained and executing. The final thing would be mindset. Because what happens when you go 0 for 1 or 0 for 2 is you're like, man, I need to close now. I need to get this next person. And I could tell from personal experience, I didn't read this in a book, I've gone for when I've walked a room, said, man, we've had maybe a little bit of slower new patient week or month. Maybe I've had some bills that I'd like to cover. And so I'm like, I got to close these 4 people. And that's the wrong mindset. Like, we're there serving God, we're there saving lives, and we're there to tell the truth. And what I've seen, and I really don't like when it happens to me, and I really don't like when I see it happening to the doctors I work with, is that you're not telling the truth. You're watering down the truth. Something I say at this point is, 99% truth is 100% lie. Like, we're pulling back on what chiropractic it really is, what a subluxation is doing to their body. We're failing to create urgency, and we're not sticking to the best care plan for them. Like, the care plan I give them is the care plan that I know is best for them. And when my mindset goes to, I've got to get these 4 people, I'll start to get weak on my plan. I'll start to get weak on what I'm saying, try to kowtow to their needs. And then it just becomes, kind of pathetic. And that's why I don't like it when I do it. I don't like it when other people do it. That's no way to live your life, is offering people some fraction of the truth, again, which isn't the truth at all, and something less than what they need in the plan. Another mentor of mine, one of the early chiropractors, he said, put the monkey on their back. You tell them the truth. You give them the plan that they need, that you know is the best for them. Put it on their back. If they're going to object to some of it, or if they want to negotiate some of it, let them do that, but don't hold it back and start negotiating before you even know if they wanted to negotiate. So the mindset is the other piece. Again, I'm certain that if you're having some trouble converting, it's all 3. Finally, of course, obviously get with your coach, get with myself, Dr. Rob, Dr. Eric, and get us audios. Let us see it. Let us watch it. Get us video. Just from the sidelines, get a chance to see you actually at play to find out what's happening, what might be being missed, because maybe some of it's just unconscious at this point. Bottom line, though, is you're serving God, you're saving lives, you're in the right place. You're going to get there. Don't get discouraged when you go 0 for 1-4, but it's important that you know how to roll the tape and start to figure out how to turn around quickly so we can get back to the mission and the vision. Bless you guys, and remember who you are.